You know, while memeing is nice and all and having fun with the situation will get over it easier, I had a few thoughts about this whole alt-CC fiasco that really have me puzzled. Okay, for those not in the know, Dylan Thomas kind of flipped out over the fact that I put his emotion versus logic video in the honorable mentions to my top 10 worst commentaries of 2016. Yeah, the honorable mentions, as in not actually on the list. Kinda stupid if I'm gonna be blunt. But I'll admit, he was more angry with me for not jumping to trying to explain myself in the video or on Twitter, and I definitely have reasons for that trace back to his reaction and behavior to the situation being full of, well, salt. Hey, can you blame me? For someone who wanted me to be logical and not emotional, I wanted to wait until he calmed down, which he seemed to never did, showed by the fact that he decided to make it an us versus them mentality, which was not the intent of my saying he white knighted Jar seeing that. If you're friends with either party, or so I thought friends with both parties, you can still hop to defend a person with no second thought that maybe, just maybe, your friends may not all get along. Fuck it, whatever. Nevertheless, he made it an us versus them thing. I'm certain he thinks the same of me, and that's where a lot of this started. He then started to distance himself from the CC, which I'll admit is a smart move given how he reacted to me just saying his video was bad. And long story short, he now hates me, hates the CC more, and got Jesus with Bazookas and Resident Controversy Darkscythe to band together and make what is known as the alternative commentary community. Now, I don't know their motives. They're not actually out yet, so I'll try not to just blindly assume everything. In fact, everything I'm bringing up in this video is all I can understand from Twitter posts and nothing more. And while looking through what I can find, I am incredibly confused. I kind of touched on these passing thoughts on Twitter, but I'm going to elaborate a smidge more on where these thoughts kind of came from. So the alt-CC idea is kind of redundant if I can be honest. I've been saying that there have been 4 groups to the genre of commentaries: the leafy-cynical, the political, and the community. And then there's that side genre that I only describe as Go Animators. Now, that said, the Go Animators are what I want to focus on here. Automagic Critic, Sam the Vlogger, Amazing Flying Kirby 9872 trademark. These guys all have a few things in common, but one thing for certain I can bring up is they all do commentaries on topics similar to what the community does, but stay outside the borders of what we as a community do. Kinda like, well, what I understand the alt-CC to be. They are the alternative to the commentary community, so is the alt-CC just another alternative? It just seems kind of odd, especially considering they want to be alternative so they can be away from being told how to commentate, or be away from this hive mind Dylan's been saying we have. And now, that makes even less sense, really, when you think about it. I mean, for a bunch of free thinkers, the fact that you don't want to basically be what amounts to critiqued or debated against, because there's no set rules for the commentary community, I gotta wonder how this community is even gonna be ran. Are you guys just gonna 100% agree on all the videos released by your members? You're gonna just never criticize one another? Doesn't that seem a little bit more like a hive mind to you? I mean, I don't get why people have this kind of connotation towards the commentary community that we all share a single brain, because that kind of ignores the fact that members of the commentary community commentate on one another. Hell, some of the higher ups commentate on each other. I've been hinting at the bunch of pseudo-intellectuals doing a video on Manga Comment and Gale Force 3192, which is not only us hitting the most sub-2 person in the commentary community, but it's also us hitting another member of the bunch of pseudo-intellectuals. And if that doesn't do it for you, you can always look at the Federation of Exalted and see how much Skihound's willing to just let other Fox members slide. Now, I grant you, yes, there are those with the mentality to kind of just nod and agree. But there's a reason they're not well known or really paid attention to in the community. In this community, hearing nothing but yes men kind of defeats the purpose of being in a community that inherently argues by the very nature of what this community is built on. Wouldn't you think that if there was a hive mind in the commentary community that no commentator would ever be hit by one another? I mean, that is kind of what a hive mind implies, being a single collective consciousness occupying many bodies or entities. And if that can be said about the entirety of the commentary community, then I have some really unfortunate news for you. Also, can I just return to the fact that you guys seemingly made this with the intent to get away from criticism entirely? Seriously, do you guys think that would stop any of us here in the commentary community from doing videos on you and telling you how you might be able to up your production, fix your scripts, or hell, inform you on things that you could be absolutely uninformed in? I'm sorry, have you seen this community? I mean, sure, we bounce off of one another a lot, but there does have to be an original source to any degree chain. And with that, we branch out and find those, hitting many other communities on the side. Hell, just last year alone I did someone who does beer reviews, did a video on a conspiracy theorist, a handful of political commentators, some of those members from that outlying Go Anime commentators crowd I mentioned earlier, a Minecraft tuber, and a Little Big Planet-centered YouTuber. You really have zero reason to assume just because you're in another community, you'll be safe from criticism.
Oh, we're not talking criticism, we're talking about you guys telling us how to commentate.
Oh, why thank you, Mr. Strawman, for if this argument ever pops up. I'm glad you said that because really and truly no one is telling you how to commentate. We may give you suggestions on how you can improve. We may give, criticism, but due to the fact there is no rules of commentating, we can't tell you how to commentate objectively. With things like, I don't know, writing scripts, doing retakes, black borders matter, these are all critiques towards any video that if you fix, can make your video that much better due to the fact if you write a script, then you have all your thoughts put together and it'll be easier for you to speak them. Doing retakes can make your video easier to sit through as you would be able to take out all the awkward pauses and stutters. And black borders matter was a suggestion towards rendering the video in 16:9 instead of 4:3 as YouTube uses a widescreen player, not a full screen one. And even with that said, these complaints can go towards any kind of video though, not just commentary. Same can be said towards fact-checking and not making a video with emotions over logic. Oops. With that in mind though, I can't help but wonder if they're gonna wind up setting their own rules for how to commentate in their community just to be contrary to us. Probably not. It's probably just gonna be more community stuff that they wish to distance themselves from, but at this point, I'm just assuming baselessly. Anyway, those are my passing thoughts about what I've seen about the Alt-CC. Honestly, from what I'm seeing in this in-development stage, it really doesn't hold any promise. Of course, I'm just looking into something that hasn't even been fully shown to us yet, so take this video as you will, more than likely with a grain of salt. As for the Alt-CC, I wait to see what you're actually on about, because what you're showing us is not good. Not from a commentator standpoint or a community standpoint. And as for the rest of you, I'll see you next time.